Hi everybody, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to be telling you guys everything you need to know in order to get out bluegill fishing and hopefully catch some nice ones yourself. But anyways, let's get right into this. We're going to start with when to go bluegill fishing. This video is going to be focused on summertime bluegill fishing because in my opinion that's the best time to catch them. I found most success bluegill fishing on warm and sunny days, so if you find a warm and sunny day you may have just hit the jackpot. I've caught some of my biggest bluegills about 2 to 3 hours after sunrise. But as far as the time of day goes, it doesn't really matter too much. They should bite all day long. From late May to late July, bluegill are in their spawning season, which is the perfect time of year to catch some big bluegills. During the spawning seasons, bluegill like to go to shallow waters and lay their eggs. So now let's talk about where to bluegill fish. Like I was saying, when bluegill are in their spawning season, they like to go to shallow waters. This means the majority of the bluegill should be concentrated near the shorelines. We can take advantage of this by fishing near the shorelines during the spawning months. During the spawning months, I've found a lot of success of just slowly trolling near the shorelines. Make sure not to get too close to the shorelines though, because you could spook off the bluegill. As you troll across the shoreline, you might run into a spot with a ton of bluegill. If you do find one of these spots, I recommend dropping an anchor there and fishing there for a little while. Also try fishing under trees or other materials that might make the bluegill feel safer because they do like those areas a lot. Now let's talk about what gear to use. You're obviously going to want a fishing rod, and a boat could be helpful, but it's not required. And then when it comes to what bait to use, bluegill aren't very picky. Things such as night crawlers, worms, slugs, and even artificial bait work perfectly for bluegill fishing. And as for what bobbers to use, you can use pretty much any type of bobber. Just make sure that you're not using like a ginormous bobber because bluegill probably won't even bite your hook because of that. And speaking of hooks, this is where a ton of people make a huge mistake. Some people use ginormous hooks, and those never work because bluegill can't even bite those. And I'm not even kidding, some people are using hooks like this. If your mouth is smaller than a penny, you wouldn't want to bite on a ginormous hook. You'll lose way less bluegill if you use a smaller sized hook. And lastly, I'm going to tell you guys how to fish for bluegill. The best way to fish for bluegill, especially in the spawning months, is to cast a couple of feet offshore and then let it sit there for a little bit, about a minute, and then just reel it slowly in and then stop again and wait until you get a bite, and hopefully you'll get a bite before you get it all the way back to the boat. Or if you're on shore, cast it out pretty much as far as you can and just do the same thing, slowly reel it in until it gets back to you. Once you get a bite, set the hook, which is just pulling back on the rod slightly, and that's how you get the hook into the fish's mouth so you have a good grip on him, and then you can start reeling. It's best to keep your rod pointed upwards so you don't lose the fish. That's going to be it for this video. I hope this helps you guys get out bluegill fishing for yourself, and hopefully you can catch some nice bluegills yourself. And make sure to come back this summer to watch me do some pan fishing. But anyways, thanks for watching.